Hello everybody, it's me. And today we're going to be looking at some mind-blowing facts about mermaids. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number 10. Mermaid meat. In many countries around the world, there are myths and legends of mermaid meat being a delicacy. The most famous mention of this is in Homer's Odyssey, where sailors are said to have attacked Odysseus's ship after smelling the delicious aroma coming from his galley. They had apparently cooked mermaid meat and were eating it. And although we may never know exactly what these mythical creatures tasted like, some say that mermaid meat was similar to pork. Maybe you'd enjoy it, or maybe you wouldn't. But would you ever dare to try it? No. 9. The Mermaid and the Shipwreck. In 1841, an author by the name of Frederick Marryat wrote a story about a shipwreck he experienced years prior with a mermaid. He and his crew were sailing in the Atlantic Ocean when suddenly their ship began to break apart in the storm. At the very moment they realized the ship was doomed, a mermaid appeared and beckoned for them to follow her to safety. She led them off the ship and away from the wreckage. Once out of the water, she disappeared. Now, while this could just be a made-up story, some believe that the waves created by the ship's sinking caused the upwelling of fish, which attracted the mermaid to the surface. Either way, this is one heck of a scary mermaid tale. No, 8 black mermaids. In some cultures, mermaids can be quite terrifying, like the ones found in West Africa. Here, mermaids are known as Mami Wata, and unlike their enchanting sisters in the sea from Europe, these creatures are very dangerous. The West African mermaids are usually depicted as old, ugly women with sharp claws and teeth, and sometimes even tentacles. They lure unsuspecting sailors onto their boats and then drag them down to their watery grave. If you see one of these mermaids, run away. Number 7. Mermaid tears. In Scottish folklore, there's a legend of a mermaid who falls in love with a human man and cries a single tear each day for him. Now you may be thinking, big deal, right? Just a girl pining after her crush? Well, not exactly. See, if any human were to come across this magical tear, they would immediately fall under a spell and become infatuated with the ocean. They would then abandon their life on land and move in with the mermaid and her family underwater. Now, this sounds pretty crazy, but do you think it could be true? Could a simple touch send you into a life of permanent aquatic bliss? Number 6. Manfish. Though mermaids and mermen are much more popular in folklore, there are tales of a creature known as a manfish, a mythical beast which has the top half of a man and the bottom half of a fish. However, unlike mermaids, which are usually depicted as beautiful, enchanting creatures, the manfish are always described as ugly, scary things. They live in lakes and rivers and often attack people who go near the water. Like the mermaids in West Africa, the manfish also have the ability to lure victims to the water's edge before snatching them up and pulling them under. If you ever come across one of these creatures, you're probably better off just accepting your fate. No. 5. Mermaid tales. For years now, images of mermaids have adorned the tails of ships, but why? Well, it all started back in 1837 when a famous author published a book called The Mermaid and the Sailors. It told the story of a mermaid who fell in love with a sailor, and how she would appear at the stern of his ship to visit him. This book inspired painters to start depicting mermaids on the tails of ships. Some people believe this practice brought good luck to sailors. So whether you believe in mermaids or not, the next time you're at the port, keep an eye out for these mysterious figures. Number 4. Mermaid warnings. When it comes to mermaids, they aren't just found in fairy tales and legends. Sometimes they're found in the real world. In the 18th century, sailors reported seeing an eerie green mermaid just before a hurricane struck. People took this as a warning and eventually came up with the term "beware the green mermaid" to signal a coming storm. This practice lived on long after the 18th century, and even inspired an author to write a novel titled The Green Mermaid. No. 3. Sirens and mermaids. While we've already covered sirens in another video, we just couldn't leave out this crazy fact about mermaids. You see, sirens and mermaids are often confused with one another, but they're actually two different creatures. Both are found in the sea, and both are said to have the ability to lure men closer to the water and ultimately lead them to their deaths. However, mermaids are usually depicted as half human and half fish, whereas sirens are portrayed as bird women. So while they do share some similarities, you can rest easy knowing that if you encounter one of these creatures, you'll be safe, just stay away from the other. No. 2 mermaid colors. Depending on where you are in the world, mermaids can vary in color. Oh, that's right. In some places, they're described as blue, while in others, they're said to be green or even red. This is likely due to the different environments they're found in. For example, in New Zealand, Maori legends tell stories of a mermaid-like creature named Te Wika Muturangi. These mermaids are said to have been green, similar to the waters in which they lived. Meanwhile, the mermaids found in Japan are often depicted as having blue tails. This is because they live in the deep, dark waters of the ocean, where no sunlight can penetrate.
Oh.
So while mermaids may be enchanting, don't forget to watch out for their claws. After all, some of them are as sharp as anchors. Number 1, a mermaid's voice. One of the most well-known stories about mermaids involves a young girl who makes a deal with the devil himself. The girl is a mermaid, and she longs to walk on land and experience life outside of the ocean. She strikes a bargain with the devil. She'll give him her voice in exchange for legs. And while she's happy with her decision, no one realizes she's a mermaid. The story is known as The Little Mermaid and was written by a famous Danish author. It's been adapted numerous times throughout the years, but the original version has a much darker ending. In the end, the mermaid is turned into sea foam, and her voice becomes a whisper in the wind. But regardless of how the story ends, one thing remains clear. Mermaids are some of the most captivating creatures in the sea. So what do you think about mermaids? Do you believe they exist, or are you just a little skeptical? Let us know in the comments below. Before you go, make sure to give this video a like. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.